Hello there and welcome back to another one of my videos where you get to edit with me. I have done a video before where I've looked at my other preset, Moonpack 1. So if you are looking at how I edit with Moonpack 1, you want to head back to my videos to find that one. This one I'm going to be looking at the Editorial edit, which is actually my most recent preset to come out. So this one is obviously much more of an editorial vibe. It's got much more cleaner colours, cleaner skin tones. It's much more timeless. Moonpack has really gorgeous, clean vibe as well, but it's got more of an edge to it, whereas this one is just even more timeless. So I want the images to look like they did in real life, but better. So I think like when clients look back in 10 years, they'll still love the images. That is what I'm going for with this pack. So yeah, it has the main base, which is obviously my go-to main base. Now, I could edit an entire wedding with main base, but there are obviously certain tweaks I make in certain scenarios. And the point of this pack is I want to make your workflow as quick as possible. No preset is one click. So the point of this pack is I'm trying to speed up your workflow as much as possible to try and make it as one click as I can for you. So there are certain tweaks I make when I shoot backlit, flash, golden hour, indoors, night, and I've made them into a preset. So all of these match main base, but with the tweaks that I make in those lighting scenarios. So I'm just trying to make your life as easy as possible and make editing much more quick and smooth for you. So main base is obviously my go-to. Backlit is, you know, if they're in front of a window or it's brighter behind them, etc. Flash, if I'm shooting direct flash, off camera flash, etc. Golden is golden hour. Indoors, so I don't always use this when I'm indoors. So if the light is nice inside, I will use my main base. But if they have, you know, they have all the orange lights on indoors, or they're in a very orange warm church, or they're in an orange teepee, then that's when I use indoors. It brings down that orangeness. Nighttime, obviously I use that at night. Now you may want to choose whether you use night or flash. It's kind of something that you just need to go off the vibe in the image. Then black and white flash, pretty self-explanatory. My black and white mono is my go-to black and white. And then auto straighten is a tool that I use. Now it doesn't work on all images, but sometimes it works wonders. So if you've got an horizon or a room or a table or something with some kind of line, if you press auto straighten, it will straighten it up. It doesn't always work because if you've got a tree with a funny angle or whatever, and you press auto straighten, it might read it wrong. But I do nearly always hover over auto straighten on an image just to see what it does. Noise reduction, so if your ISO is just much higher than you would like it to be, put your noise reduction on just to get rid of some of the grain. Grain add, grain remove, because my preset does automatically have a little bit of grain in, so you might want to take that out or pop that back in. And then natural vignette on and off is basically like your lens corrections. So I use this depending on the image. So on my main base, I have the natural vignette off. But if I'm shooting flash or night, I always have it on, and I'll show you as I go what I mean by that and how I think it looks better on an image. So if we just begin, I'm just going to put my main base on. It looks pretty good as it is. The exposure's nice, their skin is nice. I could get away with not doing anything else to that image. If we compare, like, it looks good. It looks really good. What a good first image to start with. So this one, let's go main base. They're actually on a bit of a hill, so I don't think auto straighten will work. It actually kind of does, doesn't it? Because it straightens the building. I kind of want to center them a bit more. So you can see the grain. So as I said, it's up to you whether you want to then remove that grain and clean it up. I've added just the right amount of grain that I think is really nice. I could bring down my temp a tiny bit. So if we just do before and after. Do you see what I mean by it still looks like it did? Like the colours, everything is the same as it is, but it's better. it's just keeping the image true to life, but enhancing how it is, just to make it its best version. So this one was obviously indoors, and it's a little bit dark, so I could go main, but I also could go indoors. So I think I'm going to go for indoors. I could bring up my exposure a little. You could play with your shadows depending on the kind of vibe you want, but I quite like the shadowy vibe. So if I hover over main and you look at their skins, it's going to be personal preference, but I think I'm sticking with indoors on this one. The visionette, so like, you see what I mean? I automatically, as I said, have it like that for my main. Let's have a compare. Oh no. Dun dun dun. There we go. So nice. So good. I actually really like that image. So here's a backlit one. So let's go straight to backlit. I think this is going to be a good auto straighten image. Yes, because there's lines. So we just go before and after, backlit auto straighten. It's as easy as that. So main base still looks good. It's got a bit of a moodier vibe. Like, you might prefer that moodier vibe. But yeah, do you see what I mean by it just has that tweak? Yeah, really nice. Next, a confetti shot, which I did underexpose. I do tend to do that. I tend to underexpose a couple of shots when I shoot anyway. That's like my kind of start. That's like my way I shoot. So let's go main base. I don't think it needs auto straightening. It's not doing anything because it's already straight. Let's lift some exposure. I could bring the temp down a tiny bit maybe on their skin. Before and after, just with exposure in the main. It's so good. So this honestly is just like the easiest preset to use. It is so easy. Now, this photo, I shot it on the wonk because I was very in the moment, but I just love this photo. You know, you have an image that you love. I don't really know why, but I love it. So, main base. I'm going to try and auto straighten it. Okay, it's done this because it's picked up the horizon. So obviously I now need to crop out the white. Always make sure you've cropped all the white out. Do you see how it's straightened that up? Look at that. I'm going to lift my brightness up a little. Right, so let's just look at before and after. How good is that? And all I did was main base, auto straighten and some exposure up. And just like the colours, the tones, the vibe. Love it. So now this is one where I'm going to use my nighttime one. It was shot at blue hour. So let's go night. So this has the visionette automatically on. So if I put it off, no, it automatically has it off. And if I put it on, it brightens up. So night automatically has it off. And if I put it on, see what I mean by it's better? It keeps that night vibe. So I go main base. Still the same colours and tones, but these nighttime tweaks just make it better. It's just how I would tweak it. So they're on a hill. So it's not going to be overly straight because the hill is going up and up. I'm going to straighten it a little. I'm going to brighten it a little. And I'm going to warm them. Because it's blue hour, their skin is a little bit cold. So I kind of want to warm it up a little. My ISO is actually 2000. So I could add some noise reduction. Sometimes, I don't know if you have discovered the sky tool. And if you haven't, you need to. So because I've warmed it up, I might want to bring the sky colour back down. Bring it back to blue. So if just on that, I go before and after. So nice. It's as easy as that. But yeah, you can see what I mean by the tweaks from main to my nighttime one. So this is a nice one. I like because her suit and his suit, and I just want you to see the colours and the tones. So main, auto straighten. Their skin is too warm for me. Okay, so just main, auto straighten and some temp. How good does this look? Her suit is clean and white. His suit, you can now see, is this gorgeous dark navy colour. The house is no longer like a nothing beige. It's now like a gorgeous creamy colour. Just, yeah. Honestly, it is that easy. So this is a tricky image, which is why I added it in. It's the same couple, but it's in a tricky light. So they're under a tree. It's obviously raining, but then there's light behind. So again, this is one where I would use backlit. I might auto straighten it, yeah, because it straightened up the house. And I might crop it a little. So if I went on main to backlit, again, you might prefer main, but for me, it just brings their details back out, and yeah, let's have a little look. It's nice, and you can see how like the colours, the tones, everything is just like the original, but better. So this is the first time I'm going to show you golden. So with my moon pack, my golden was much more of an orangey tone, whereas with this pack, my golden is more of a pinky tone. I just feel like a pinky tone is much more of an editorial vibe than the orange tone. So yeah, whenever I put a golden preset on, I often play with my contrast because it makes a difference, you know, and I often play with my shadows. So again, it's just going to be personal preference, but just before and after with that, there, it just brings that warmth and that niceness, is that a word? That niceness to an image. So this one, it was actually really dark in here. My ISO is 2000. They've got lots of orange lights everywhere. It was tricky. So if we go main base, and then if we go indoors, it's just better, isn't it? Like main base. I'm going to see if it'll auto straighten. Preferred it without. And I'm going to crop it in a bit. I just want to bring some in. There we go. I might brighten it a little. And I'm going to add my noise reduction because my ISO is 2000. So before and after. There you go, just with indoors, some noise reduction and a bit of crop. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Oh no, now it's frozen. Okay, carrying on. So this is a gorgeous outdoor ceremony. Oh, what a spot to get married. So, main base. You could go backlit. It's entirely up to you. I think I'm going to stick with main. Auto straighten's not going to work on that. I know it wouldn't because of this tree branch. But they aren't straight, so I'm going to manually straighten them. I'm going to brighten it a little, and I'm also going to warm it up a little. Before and after. There. And you can see what I mean by like, look at this and then look at that. It looks exactly like it did on the day, but enhanced. Just, you know, their skin tones and everything. So I wanted to choose this image because it's got a lot of greens, and I wanted to really show you what it does to the greens. I underexposed this, as you can see. So main base, exposure, obviously necessary. And I also want to warm it up because I feel like there is a little bit cold. And compare. So you can see like the greens are like they are in real life. You know, they're not desaturated, they're not a crazy bright colour, they are just what they should look like in real life. Yeah. So this is inside a marquee, and I really want to show you like what it does with the whites and stuff. It's quite a pinky image. Main. Indoors. I think I'll go indoors. Auto straighten. Doesn't do anything, but it's not straight. There we go. It's a bit too pinky for me, so I'm going to drop some of the pinks out. Let's have a look at that. There. You see what I mean by the whites? They look so clean and beautiful, don't they? So this is another image which I think is quite tricky. Like, they've got green jumpsuits on, green trees. It's a lot of green. So main base. I want to crop it a little because I don't like the unevenness. Brightness. Exposure. There. It honestly, it is so easy to use, so versatile. Like, man, why do I keep doing this? Here we go. It's just so easy to use. Like, their jumpsuits still look the same colour as they did before. And it just looks good. Confetti, main base. Crop it a little. It was actually really tricky light because it was actually like bright light. Exposure, warmth, before and after. That's how speedy you can get through editing or wedding. Okay, so this one, backlit, 100%. Auto straighten, yes. Bit of a crop, before and after. So think how quick you can edit just by choosing what one you need, what tool you need, and then moving on. So good. So this one is obviously indoors, but she's standing right in front of a window. Therefore, there's no orange lights on. I'm thinking it's going to be main. It's quite warm, but I think indoors is taking away her natural skin colour because there isn't any orange lights on. So I'm going to go for main and then drop the 10th. Brighten it up. Before and after. Like, look at the colour of the dress. Look at her skin tone, the hair. You know, so creamy. And then this one is my last one, and it's a flash image, so flash. I could drop the brightness a little. So yeah, this is the difference between flash and night. You just need to decide what works for you. The Visionette. See, I like it off because I like the darkness it brings to it. Before and after. Just makes it pop. Do you see what I mean? And I think that's because the Visionette. Because like if I had it on, look, it kind of loses that pop around her head. And then off. So yeah. I just haven't shown you the black and white. So I'm just going to, you know, randomly go on some images to show you the black and white. So this might be a good one. So if I go on my black and white mono. How nice is this? Like the colours, it's just... It is good. Let's go on the bridesmaid one. It's black and white mono. Again, you can remove your grain and add the grain from that, however you see fit. This one, black and white mono. It's nice, isn't it? And it matches the main base. Like, the main base is obviously colour, but I mean, it matches the vibe. That is the point, that like your gallery will all blend in together with your colour and your black and whites, just having the same vibe to them. And then flash, black and white flash. I feel like I do need to drop the exposure on this. So if I go on black and white mono, and then black and white flash, gives it that pop. So yeah. That is all of them. I hope that has helped, and I hope you're not too bored listening to my editing rambles. Feel free to DM me on Instagram if you've got any questions you want to ask me. I will put the link to purchase these presets in the information below. And yeah, thanks for listening, and bye.